the Pan Celtic's finished, all run and done. We're back in Malaga. It's time to go through the Ultra Plus and yeah, see what we brought, go through, do a bit of a bike check, talk a little bit about the bike. The Ultra Plus is a model that we're working on at the moment. It's due to be released very soon. This is an endurance road bike, as the name suggests, and the Plus really, the Plus really signifies an extra capability when it comes to tyre width and tyre volume. So in the Ultra Plus here, this setup, we're running a 40mm tyre, 40mm road slick with fenders on, which is pretty cool. Luckily in Ireland we didn't actually get much rain to contend with. But yeah, if you have a look at the overall bike, it's a very elegant machine. The head tube is definitely a bit higher than maybe most typical road bikes. Obviously, being an endurance, long distance, ultra machine, that's what you're really looking for. You can see the saddle to bar drop isn't really too extreme. I'm someone who rides a fairly relaxed position, you would say. So the beauty of this geometry in this bike is you're able to achieve that position, but still have the stem relatively slammed, which looks really cool. Yeah, so there's a few different features here on the bike. UDH dropouts, a really nice semi-hooded UDH dropout design. Probably one of our biggest new features on this bike is the integrated and internal fork. So we have a completely internal front end using a neoplug system, which is bonded here in Malaga or in Melbourne in our workshop. But the extra capability is the ability to mount a light, a dynamo harness through the fork leg, and it pops up through the steerer. So there'll be much more detail to talk about that. But I'm going to take you through what did we have on the bike, how do we get through the Pan Celtic. There's a lot of Guinness consumed, a lot of distance covered. So yeah, come on in, I'll show you. So we start at the front end of the bike. Okay, we've got the aero skis, the Redshift quick release aero skis. Got on here a little bridge, homemade bridge, with using a few zip ties and a bit of an offcut with a quad lock mount. So that's really handy. You can just leave the phone on there if you've ever got to check the tracker, see where all the other clan members are. And then these two little beasts. These are the two little blip shifters. So when you're in the skis, you can still shift your rear derailleur. Super handy, and it just means you can take a bit of pressure off your hands and yeah, save your hands a lot. In the front, we've got the old Garmin sat phone. This is a device that I use a lot on our expeditions where we're places like Mongolia or Argentina where we don't have a lot of phone signal. So we can call the chopper, okay, using the button over here. But this has got a very good battery life, but it also has satellite tracking, so we can actually ping and let people know where we are. So I'll put that down. Probably one of the coolest things I think that we had on the bike is this Exposure, the Revo 5 dynamo system. Relatively new system from Exposure. Has a high and a low mode and then a flashing mode. The beauty of this Exposure Revo system, if I just unplug it here, okay, it's wired through to the rear, okay, with the red eye system, but this effectively is your entire dynamo system. You don't need an extra box, an extra computer. It all just is housed within here, and this little unit is super light. But so that, yeah, pops on there. And then our dynamo harness, if you come in and have a look here at the steerer cap, yeah, we've just neatly set it up with a little hole through the steerer cap, and it runs down the fork leg and pops out the bottom and plugs into your dynamo. I didn't have a dynamo on this ride, but yeah, Ryan did. So through this headlight, you can charge your phone, charge your power bank. As I said, you don't need that extra sort of transformer unit sitting in a bag or somewhere. So yeah, really good. Also on the front end, our new carbon Walmer Race handlebar. This is 220 grams. It's rated to mountain bike standards. It's been independently tested at IFBE. And this bar is quite the handlebar. It's got half the flare of our normal Walmer bar, and a bit of a wider, flatter top. Very comfortable, but also, yeah, very stiff and quite a performance upgrade. Definitely, if you're looking at a new bar. This one's in a 40 width, 40 centimeter width, and absolutely, yeah, fantastic. Really, really nice. Also on the front, okay, we've got our G4Ts with 40 millimeter Pirelli P0s. Yeah, the 40 mil tire, it's really interesting. The whole way through the Pan Celtic, we had no discomfort issues of any kind. You know, we were spending 8 to 10 hours on the bike every day, so not crazy hours, but you know, from your back, your lower back, to your hands, your shoulders, your neck, zero discomfort to speak of. And I think, yeah, a combination of the titanium, the design of the frame, but definitely that tire volume, I think, adds a lot to that, as well as getting the right pressure. But yeah, in terms of actually floating over all the varied surfaces, rougher tarmac, little sections of gravel, it's very interesting to ride a 40 mil tire for sure. Also, you can see the pretty elegant mounting here with the fenders. These are all sort of nicely hidden in there. As I said, the dynamo wiring harness is all just popped in there at the moment. That just sits away in there. Now we're going to take you inside the bags. What do we actually carry in all these things? First thing up first, Yorkshire tea. Let's have a proper brew. This is very important. You know, you're not always going to be able to find a good cuppa along the road, so got to carry some of these. Most important thing in Ireland, sunscreen. This is the land of milk and honey and whiskey and sun. You need to carry a strong sunscreen. There's a lot of burnt clan members out there on the road. Olive oil doesn't work as sunscreen. You've got to use some good stuff. It can be expensive, but it's worth it. All right, this little cherub here, this is a beauty. Okay, this, get the old hair tie, this and this. This is lens cleaner. This is very, very handy. I mean, we probably use this, I think, one of the most potentially out of any of the items that we carry. You know, when you're sweating, sweat dripping down your helmet, into your glasses all the time, or just getting dirty from grime and things on the road, this really keeps your glasses clean, which is a lot less annoying, but it's also very safe. You've got to be able to see where you're going. Two other little things in here, or three other things. Tape, electrical tape. Always got to have some electrical tape. You never know what you might need that for. The spork and the knife, the old Opinel. Look at that, French farmer's knife. One of the best knives you can get. This one's quite good because it has a little Allen key holder here, and I can pop them in there. So if we need to make any on-the-fly adjustments. In here, some medication, you know, some Panadol, you know, a few little bits in there. Also, let's see if I can get it. Valve core tool. So that's what sits in there. Pretty simple. Now, the tail fin, this is a 4.5 litre. I mean, it almost looks like a custom size frame bag. It just slots in there perfectly, absolutely perfectly. This is really handy, this little thing. We didn't need to use this, but this is the rain poncho. I saw Lael Wilcox using one of these, I think, in her round the world ride, and I thought, I got to have one. So yeah, that just sits on top of your phone if it starts raining, and your phone, obviously, you don't have to worry about your phone getting damaged. In here, I had my backup exposure Diablo front light. Now this just clips in there and clips onto my helmet. This is just a backup, you know, if you ever sort of in need of an extra light. Funny story, I've had this light for about 13 years, which is crazy. I bought it when I was a young uni student, and I only just recently had the battery serviced and replaced. Yeah, amazing bit of kit. But yeah, that sits in there. Oh, this is a good one. This is important. Chamois cream, the creme de la creme. You can see it's almost empty now because so much chamois cream was used. This is very, very important. You got to have that. Some more tea. Barry's. This is an Irish tea. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. I don't want to go into what's the best tea at the moment, but it's pretty good, I will say. Spare UDH hanger, okay, for the bike. That just sits in there. Smooth lube, the greatest lube, the lube that I use and recommend. Again, we didn't have to actually apply a lot of this because we had such good weather. But yeah, that's in there, as well as a little chain rag. That's just always sitting in there. Oh look, another tee. There you go. That's in on this side. Let's go to the other side. What have we got here? Oh, look here, look here. The Pan Celtic Brevet card. You've got to keep this in close proximity. And at the end, we got our proficiency award in ultra cycling. So that's going to be displayed over here in the adventure table, which is pretty nice. In here also, a couple of sets of brake pads. Okay, again, we were sort of prepared for the worst weather. Luckily, we didn't get. Okay. Oh, this is a good one here. Dyna plugs. Okay, spare bullets for the Dyna plug. Very important. You're going to see the Dyna plug in a second. So lots of spare sizes there. Batteries, okay, spare batteries. So you've got power meter, shifters, maybe a heart rate strap. Okay, they are always just sitting in there. I always keep one of these. Okay, just tucked away in the side pocket. That's for when you take your wheel off and chuck the bike in a box at the end of the trip. Okay, little plastic bag here. This just has a combination, random mix of spare bolts and washers. So for anything from like bottle cages, anything on your rack, your bolts on the handlebar, stuff like that. That's just, again, always sitting in here. And then, it's over in this side. Spare battery. Okay, I actually had about 2 or 3 spare batteries for the shifters on here, Axis batteries. So they're always just sitting in there as well. So that's what's in your front bag. Now let's come to the back. Oh, hang on. Next one. The tool canister. What is in the tool canister? Let's have a look. Firstly, 2 litres of water. You gotta be drinking water, guys. Ireland is, again, as I said, the land of sun. Brutal hot sun. So 2 litres of water. Okay, going into the tool canister, a little electric pump. These things are super handy. We did have a spare backup one as well. This is a little mini tubolito, a multi-tool. Okay, good little wolf tooth one. Tire lever. Another spare tube. Sealant. And then this is a great little thing. Let me show this to you. This is the Dyna plug. If you haven't got one of these, this is something that you've just got to get. You take the lid off. You've got 2 cartridges in here. So you get your hole in your tire. Okay, boom, straight through. Seals it up. Off you go. But on this tool, you've got a double ender. So you've actually got 4 plugs ready to go at a moment's notice. Very useful. All right, that's the tool canister. Small, but carries everything. Now, we move to the back of the bike now. Now this is something that is first time for me trying this particular thing, but I was really impressed. So this is the Tailfin Speed Rack, I believe it's called. It's only 10 litre, it's quite light, but for this type of riding, it was just perfect. Completely waterproof, okay, and it has this really clever sort of stretchy bag. So in here, you can fit all sorts of stuff during the day. I've still got some Sturka hydro electrolyte powder. Might use some of that today actually. In here, okay, sitting in the top, sandals. That's for when we get into the pub at the end of the night, because you're not allowed into the pub without some sort of footwear, and it's actually quite dangerous to drink Guinness without something on your feet. As we open it up, this bag here, electrical items. Okay, so this has a plug, charging cables, a battery charger for Axis batteries, and a couple of spare little cables. This one, okay, toiletries, tiny little toothbrush, toothpaste, some deodorant, some small medications, you know, that all can just sit in here. So that's pretty easy as well. Now we were carrying the t-shirt every day. Okay, that was again for the Guinness tasting time. My pair of shorts as well, and some underwear, which I don't have in here now, they're getting washed. They were in there. This is a really clever piece of kit as well. This is an Albion vest or gilet, okay, but it's made using Primaloft, which is an amazing fabric. Super breathable, but gives you a huge amount of warmth. Again, we had to use this maybe once or twice just in the mornings, but yeah, luckily our weather was quite good for us. We were again prepared for the worst. A little rain cape here, okay, and rain pants. Okay, didn't have to use them, but again, it's quite clever, this little bag, how everything can pack in there. And then the great down jacket. This is a Pertex down jacket. Again, we didn't really need to use this other than maybe on and off the ferry in the mornings when it was quite cold. But that's pretty much the gist of it for this tailfin bag. This is a bag I think that, yeah, you'd be very, very impressed with. Works super well, as I said, super light. This is the rear light of the exposure system. Okay, all just sits on here, wide through the rear rack. Okay, the rear fender on there, and then the gearing range that we have on this particular Ultra, okay, is a 46 and 33. Okay, in the front, and then I think on the back it's a 10 to 36. You've got a huge amount of ratio and range there. Very, very capable. Yeah, also a spare exposure rear light, just if you need you know, for backup. But that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the Ultra Plus. Yeah, very interesting bike. Very, very. I think the perfect bike for a ride like this when it comes to comfort, but that mix of comfort and speed and efficiency. Yeah, I think that's the Ultra Plus.